So this week we went out, or actually in our last video, if you saw it, you noticed it started out with us at a thrift store. We had somebody watch us basically almost the entire time we were at the store, and maybe they were filming us, maybe they weren't. Not really sure. But about, I mean, they were there for a good 10 minutes, and we came back and we heard
They did pull away.
Yeah,
they left.
Yeah, they did
at
leave
some
eventually.
Point.
But no, we didn't. Police didn't come out or anything like that.
Mm-mm.
So maybe it's just speculation. But we came back the other night to check, and they had locked up their dumpsters. So I believe that person reported to them that their dumpster was being dove through or dug through, and they locked up their dumpster, which is actually kind of sad if you think about it, because this dumpster is as tall as me, not quite as tall as me. It's probably a 4 foot tall dumpster. And it was filled 75% of the way. And it was so solid, I couldn't actually dig through it like I would a normal dumpster. It was just packed full of stuff. And most of the stuff, or maybe not most, but a good portion of the stuff they get through donation. So they're taking in donations and then potentially assessing a value to an item and taking a tax credit, potentially, if they're being really dirty. But even more so, they're throwing out these donated items and then locking up their dumpster to ensure they make it to a landfill, as opposed to somebody who's willing to dig through a dumpster to find something that maybe needs it that badly. And it's like, I thought the whole point of a thrift store and donating to a thrift store was to make sure items get to people who need them badly. If someone's willing to dig through your dumpster and take what you were going to send to a landfill and put it to use somewhere, why would you want to stop that? It seems like it very much goes against the thought behind that type of store, or at least in my opinion. So that was our little encounter with disappointment this week, and feeling a little bit of disgust. Usually that disgust hits hardest at the pet stores when we see bags upon bags of pet food slashed open instead of making it to shelters or places that can really use it.
And that one's relatively frustrating.
On top of not lingering at dumpsters, try to clean up after yourself. Try to make yourselves as invisible as you can be, because when you are seen, you do end up losing out on dumpsters. They will lock them up. And again, we wanted to reiterate how disappointed we were that a thrift store that takes donations would then turn around and throw the donations in the trash and then lock the trash to ensure those donations make it to the landfill. I wanted to allude back to something we've done in our previous videos that definitely isn't nearly as popular, but is exciting and a fun and a free little hobby that we really enjoy doing, and we highly recommend if you guys are looking for a little adventurous thing to just go out in nature and get yourself out in public.
Is this geocaching?
Yeah, we do a little geocaching. So if we were able to travel across the country, we could possibly bring you some more interesting geocache videos, which we do enjoy doing, really, even though the viewership hasn't been there on them. So we've kind of temporarily put them on pause just because the viewership isn't there. But it is something we really enjoy doing and would like to do more of. So hopefully we can bring you on that adventure. And to tie that in with dumpster diving, we've actually already we started out at Goodwill, and we progressed on this adventure into geocache, and then we went into dumpster diving. And while we were doing the geocache in the Goodwill, we actually found a geocache at Goodwill.
Crossover.
And it was kind of like a crossover thing. And so now we have that tag that we've saved from non-existence.
Yes.
And we're going to do our first geocache, and we plan on making a little handmade dumpster
Yeah.
And then doing like little baggies inside the dumpster. So you got to open the baggie and see, oh, not this one, put it there. And then, you know, you got to open a few little baggies. Maybe you get lucky and it's the first one you open, but then the logbook's in one of the little teeny trash bags and you can sign it.
We had one geocache at one point that was a cat box, like a litter box, that had little turds in it that you could unscrew, and it had a piece of paper in it that said nope. And it ended up being in like the handle or something.
Yeah, so you didn't...
Something that you wouldn't even imagine it was in. And it was just such a good geocache. So we figured our little dumpster and trash bag idea was nice. We would also like to thank Legend, who is our first and currently only Patreon member. If you don't know what Patreon is, it's basically the non-YouTube membership that you can have for exclusive little benefits from us. And so far there are 3 different tiers.
So this week coming up for you, we got some more good hauls. Finally checked something off a bucket list for me personally that I've been wanting.
And stay tuned for another raffle.